Up next, the names of those involved in that double fatality accident that happened earlier this week on Route 114 in Floyd County. Also an update on the ongoing challenge of the residency requirements of Mayor-elect Stanley Howard, filed, of course, via the Court of Appeals in Kentucky by current Mayor Pete Shepard. I do have in front of me some documents that indicate a timeline of the events to happen. I'll go through that and also take you to the scene of a situation that authorities are still trying to sift through, where an altercation or confrontation turned violent today on 460, resulting in the roadway being shut down this afternoon after shots were fired reportedly following an auto accident. Several charges, some arrests, and the like still under investigation. The governor's update for this Thursday and a few other bits of information that I will leave you with before the end of the program, which resumes right after a message or two.
There's just no denying it. Some things you crave all year long, but some of those things you crave even more when the leaves start to change and fall and there's a chill in the air. And our famous fresh-baked chicken pot pies are at the very top of that list. They're a warm, tasty, delicious snack or a meal in its own perfect little box at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Ratliff & Ratliff Family Dentistry, locally and family-owned since 1969, is now proudly providing treatment for headaches, jaw and muscle pain. They offer trigger point therapy along with Botox to effectively treat and reduce symptoms of TMJ pain. And Dr. Beth Ann, member of the American Academy of Facial Aesthetics, also offers Botox therapy and dermal fillers for all of your cosmetic needs. Call 349-2812 to schedule an appointment and allow their highly trained and friendly staff to take care of all your dental and cosmetic needs. And give them the gift they really want, or yourself, gift certificates for Botox and cosmetic services from Ratliff & Ratliff. Santa's coming, and he's bringing tires and wheels, and he knows just where to get them. Conley Tire in Staffordsville next to Foothills and ConleyTire.net. Come in or click and save $100, even $200 on a new set of Goodyears and other big discounts on all the big names. They've got wheels, tires, lift kits, and all the service and repairs you need, and 6 months no interest is perfect for the holidays. Conley Tire in Staffordsville. Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
There where every day starts, it's made, and it ends. From hitting the floor to hitting the road and back, your feet carry the day's duties. And if you're hurting from what might be a work or sports or stress-related fracture you don't even know about, diabetic, or that all too often heel pain that just won't go away, or any type of pain or discomfort or in need of wound care, come to where they care.
Put your best foot forward and come visit our podiatry team. We care about our patients and their feet.
That's Dr. Cheney and her team at Hope Family Podiatry Center next to Hope Family Pediatrics on the Mountain Parkway.
Before I go to local headlines, a few other things to touch on, beginning with vaccines. Soon, it looks as though, to be available for those under the age of 5. Moderna and Pfizer vaccines designed for the Omicron variants already available to anyone over the age of 5, and the FDA has today cleared another hurdle, making them much more likely to be available for those under the age of 5 very soon. The FDA doing this as well around the same time that we're seeing an increase in COVID cases here, as I told you, in Kentucky on yesterday's program, and across the nation as a whole. Thanksgiving holiday visiting and gatherings, largely they believe to blame for that. But the FDA today says that children under the age of 6 who've already gotten 2 of the original doses of Moderna's vaccine can get a single booster of Moderna's updated formula if it's been at least 2 months since their last shot. And Pfizer's vaccine requires 3 initial doses for kids under the age of 5, and those who haven't finished that vaccination series will get the original formula for the first 2 shots, and then that Omicron version for their third shot, as U.S. regulators today cleared doses of the updated vaccines for kids under the age of 5. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is expected to follow suit very soon, and that means that, of course, thereafter, vaccines will be available for those small children. And the CDC, FDA, everyone saying that it's still not too late if your children haven't gotten vaccinated, with cases increasing. So are the reasons to have them vaccinated, and yourselves as well. A bit of a retreat for mortgage rates. Good news there for a lot of folks. Small retreat, but going down is a positive sign. Mortgage rates, they crept down a little bit more this week. They actually, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate fell at 6.33% this week, from right at 6.5 the week before. Freddie Mac says that rates have actually went down 0.75 of a point since last month. Cooling inflation, somewhat cooling inflation, raising hopes that the Federal Reserve will slow its aggressive interest rate hikes. So that might have a change in the housing market, which, of course, was really hot and taking a hit as of the interest rates, which had gone up. I think 30-year mortgages were right around 7% there for a little while, and through some lenders even more than that. After 3 weeks of increased home buying, demand for mortgages actually is on its way down, almost 2% last week. Let's go to the governor and his report before we get to our local news this evening. Number of things in his Team Kentucky update today, including marking, it's hard to imagine, already 1 year since the worst tornadoes in Kentucky's history tore through the western part of our state.
So this coming Saturday marks the 1-year anniversary of the deadliest, most devastating tornado event in our history. I'll be traveling to the region to be with our friends and neighbors and to honor the 81 Kentuckians that we lost that night. The stories of that night are difficult and tragic, but they're also heroic. I met a farmer who pulled several of his neighbors from the basements of their collapsed homes. He told me that they called out, one family, "Please don't leave us," and he didn't. That man, Nevin Price, is one of our heroes, along with all of our first responders, the Kentucky State Police, and the Kentucky National Guard. I can say nothing I'd ever seen had prepared me for what I saw at first light that day. As we continue to mourn those we lost, my faith tells me that why we may struggle with the whys. Why does it hit us? And why do human beings suffer? We see God's presence in the response.
With a big part of that response being almost $32 million in federal assistance. The federal government has also provided almost $60 million to support local businesses and $42 million for SAFE Act funds for Western Kentucky. Private insurance groups have paid almost $500 million to those who had insurance. The Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund, over 150,000 donations, over $52 million. That fund also pledged $16 million of that to build 300 homes in the area, new homes, 40 so far. 40 families have received the keys to a newly built home in cooperation with Homes for Hope. The before-mentioned local headlines and more coming up next.
At Golden Law Office, our attorneys previously represented the nation's largest insurance and trucking companies, handling cases involving serious personal injury and death. We know their strategies, how they will defend the case, and what factors drive large settlements. The attorneys at Golden Law Office can use this inside knowledge to ensure your case is handled effectively and aggressively. Hiring Golden Law Office provides you with a strategic advantage. Call Golden Law Office today.
The new Sagersville Loan Company at the branch location of the Sagersville National Bank is where you can get short-term loans from $50,000 to $15,000, often in less than an hour, any time of the year. But if you stop in any time before December the 29th and just simply register, you could be the one to win the $100 gift card given away on the 30th. Merry Christmas from the new Sagersville Loan Company. The reassurance of getting your medications and over-the-counter needs at Sagersville's oldest and most trusted pharmacy, the convenience of curbside pickup and call-ahead service, and the fact that you can walk in, order to go, or sit down and get gourmet quality hot fudge brownies, nachos, shakes, coffees, hot dogs with homemade sauce, desserts, and more makes it more than your hometown Good Neighbor Pharmacy. It's a destination in downtown Sayersville, Frazier's Prater Drugstore. It doesn't get any sweeter than that.
Detectives and investigators out of Post 9 in Pikeville with the Kentucky State Police have issued us the official press release and the names contained therein of those involved in that two-vehicle head-on crash on 114 earlier this week, in which 2 people were died, 2 others injured. An individual from each of the 2 cars pronounced dead either on scene or at an area hospital.
It was night before last, right before 7 o'clock on this stretch of roadway on Route 114. If you're traveling towards Prestonsburg, over to your right, that was just the Middle Creek Fire Department rounding the curve, and in front of the apartment complex there, that's where one vehicle coming in the direction towards your screen, if you will, or you, crossed the center line and struck a vehicle. 2 red trucks involved. The one going towards Floyd County and ultimately Belfry, where they were from, was driven by, as I told you yesterday, 67-year-old Irvine Doss of Forest Hills in the Belfry area. We know that he was pronounced dead at the scene. His wife was said to be a passenger. She was taken to a hospital. Her condition and any other information thereof we do not have. The other vehicle, the one that reportedly crossed the line, was driven by 42-year-old Linda Naimo, N-A-I-M-O, of Georgetown, Kentucky. She was traveling in her pickup truck on 114 when it crossed the center line, striking that of the Dosses. A passenger in Naimo's vehicle, identified as a Carolyn Gibson, also died as a result of the collision. She was 48 years old. The hometown or where Naimo or her passenger Gibson were from are still unknown at this time. The investigation is ongoing by Kentucky State Police accident reconstructionist Detective Josh Scott.
And this was the scene earlier today on 460 out of Sayersville going towards Johnson County, where authorities were investigating what appeared to them, they say, an altercation or confrontation that turned violent and bubbled over today on 460, resulting in a crash, resulting in a report of shots fired, resulting in one person being taken to the hospital, and at least so far 2 facing charges.
I spoke with Montgomery County Chief Deputy Jonathan Holbrook briefly on scene just to get the following details. The investigation at that particular time centered around the fact they believe that just before this incident on 460, that one man went to the place of business or work of another. There was some sort of remarks made or comments or threats, and then at that time, the individual who worked there jumped in his vehicle, and then both headed up 460. Still under investigation as to whether or not this vehicle was run off the road, how the accident happened, or anything of that nature. I do not have any of that confirmed. I do know that the driver is alleged to have gotten out of the vehicle upon impact with the hillside and fired, according to the other individual in the vehicle behind, 4 shots at or in his direction. The driver taken out of this SUV and to the hospital for injuries not believed to be life-threatening at this time, according to EMS on scene. While the 2 other individuals on scene that were questioned were a father and son who were both charged. Right now, the father with hindering prosecution, obstruction of justice, assaulting a police officer, fleeing and evading, resisting, menacing, disorderly conduct. The son, criminal mischief, assault of a police officer, resisting, menacing, and disorderly conduct. While charges are possibly still pending, more against them and maybe more charges for other individuals, authorities were still investigating to ascertain as to whether or not a gun was actually involved and fired, and they were attempting to locate that weapon when I left the scene. 460 was, of course, closed down for a significant time while the investigation was underway, and was since reopened about an hour and a half later.
Just obtained court documents from the Kentucky Court of Appeals shed some light on a timeline, if you will, in the case of James Pete Shepard, mayor of Sayersville, challenging the residency of Mayor-elect Stanley Howard. I'll go through that with you in just a few minutes. Right now, a quick look at tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar. Let's start off with birthday wishes tonight. This one says, please wish a very special birthday to Charlotte. That is Charlotte Jackson from Zonia and family. 86 today, I hear, Charlotte. Well, happy the happiest of birthdays to you. Happy birthday, Charlotte Jackson. Happy birthday. The holidays bring about a lot of things. With that, and ever so more need for blood donations. The next Montgomery County Community Blood Drive coming up Monday the 19th, 1 to 5 at the Sayersville First Baptist Church. Appointments are preferred. Walk-ins are welcomed. All loved. Call 1-800-775-2522. Remember to bring a photo ID Monday the 19th. Montgomery County has a very wonderful reputation for donating a lot of blood. We're trying to keep that going. Candy Cane Lane has a wonderful reputation for lighting up the scene around the holidays every night at the Gardner Farm on top of the Ivy Point Hill. Christmas and Candy Cane Lane will be over before you know it. Be sure you stop by once or 10 times. They'd love to have you. Please watch your step, 4 to 10 every night. And watch announcements right here on our calendar so you know what's going on or whose birthday or anniversary it is, or tell us about some, and we'll be glad to tell everyone else about them. Announcements like that can be published in the Independent, birthdays, birth announcements, anniversaries, but send those to Heather at SagersvilleIndependent.com. They're free there too. Local funeral announcements tonight begin with an announcement we have from the Sagersville Funeral Home in honor of 67-year-old Keith Randall Salyer of Patrick Drive. Keith Salyer, the son of the late John P. and Olga Lee Howard Salyer. He's survived by his daughters Crystal Reed and Amanda Helton and Brooke Lemaster, Isabella Salyer, a brother Gerald Salyer, sister Shirley Bailey, 3 grandkids, and 2 great-grandchildren. Services for Salyer will take place Monday morning at 11 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Visitation will begin Sunday evening after 5. Banking from home or on the go has never been easier and will forever be an important and necessary part of life. And Sagersville National has been and will always be at the forefront of meeting and exceeding your financial needs and giving you the safest and most worry-free online and mobile banking so you can worry about the important things, like what's for dinner. They're there when you need them at the main and branch locations of the Sagersville National Bank. It's no surprise the Christmas season has arrived at the Seasonal Shop. It is your one-stop shop for decor, gifts, apparel, and so much more. New arrivals hitting the floor every day in all areas of the store. So whether you're going to a holiday party or school or a work day, they have you covered. Beautiful coats, dresses, and sweaters that are perfect for these colder temperatures. And they've got a large selection of fun Christmas shirts and sweatshirts and the accessories, of course, that you need to match. New Doodles by Rebecca Toppers are in stock with added bows for a little more custom look. And if it's gifts you're looking for, they have something for everyone. Kentucky Mountain coffees, festive mugs, and many sweet add-ons. And dips and cheese ball mixes make the perfect hostess or teacher gift. So come in soon and let the ladies at the shop help you check off your gift list. That's Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sayersville.
Car wrecks, truck wreck, disability, workers' comp, slip and fall, wrongful death. Your case matters to you.
Your case matters to us. Contact McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Attention Appalachian Wireless customers. By the end of 2022, we are scheduled to shut down our 3G network along with other carriers across the nation. To prepare for this shutdown, we need to ensure that you have a device that's set up for voice over LTE service. To see if your device needs an upgrade, stop into a retail store, authorized dealer, call customer service 800-438-2355 or visit www.appalachianwireless.com/3G. Let's stay connected as we say hello to bigger and better because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
We're now 23 days away from the start of the new year, as well as the start of the next 4-year term for Sagersville Mayor. Still yet to be determined as to who that will be, as of course an appeal is pending with the Kentucky Court of Appeals. Documents filed today by the Court of Appeals now give us a bit of a timeline and some requirements to be met possibly by those involved. Orders filed on behalf of the Court of Appeals says that in lieu of Shepard's motion filed requesting an appeal of the decision in the Montgomery County Circuit Court, that Shepard may file. He has an opportunity to file any supplemental memorandums or briefs with the Court of Appeals on or before Monday, this coming Monday the 12th. If he does file that supplemental memorandum, he has to, of course, send that in on or by that date, and respondents can also file with the clerk of the court a response to the motion to set aside the supplemental memorandum, if any, on or before Friday, December the 16th. Any responses shall be mailed by that date. We have no final or finite timeline as to when any decision will be returned, if so, by the Court of Appeals, but we do have this indicating that they have until this coming Monday to file any supplemental briefs. Any challenges to that, it appears as though by Friday, December the 16th. And we can only assume that this is going to be an expedited case, given the sensitive nature of the office, of course, starting over at the first of the year. I'll keep you up to date as we are. Now on to another timeline, that of your weather, where we still have more shower chances and clouds than not throughout most of your 7-day. The word sunny does appear on a couple, technically 3 occasions throughout the entire week. Again, lending to the fact that we're not going to see as much as we would like. Well, continued chance of some showers, none falling at this exact moment in downtown Sayersville tonight, and about a 40% chance mainly before 10, so it's pretty much over for this evening. Otherwise, just cloudy skies and low 40s again. We're seeing winds up to 10-15 miles per hour. Those will start to calm down here in the next few hours during the overnight. Tomorrow is maybe above all else Friday. That's good news. Forecast is not all that bad. I mean, still going to be relatively mild, 56 degrees for, the first week in December, and 43 for nighttime lows tomorrow night. We will see cloudy skies tomorrow. We will see shower chances to the tune of 30%, mainly after 1 o'clock tomorrow. So a bit of a break, I think, during much of the overnight, and then during your early morning should be dry, and then some slight shower chances again after 1 o'clock tomorrow. That will just kind of linger on and off throughout the day. No expected significant rainfall accumulation. As for your weekend, though, shower chances ramp back up. Temperatures creep up to 58 degrees, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of showers. Not until Saturday afternoon after 3. It's Saturday night, though, that the brunt of the showers will fall into your Sunday. But early Sunday, they should be gone, 8 a.m. or so. And then after that, Sunday, as you saw, will be dry for the rest of it, 54 and 32. Monday, dry, sunny, and 47. Been a day or two since we've had that. Tuesday's not all that bad. 53, partly sunny on your Tuesday. Shower chances look to roll back into the picture not until maybe late Tuesday, so maybe a couple of actual sunny days in a row. I think most assuredly Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, not so much. Another system, another round. Mostly cloudy skies, a 70% chance of showers. That's a likelihood. 53 degrees, a little bit of sun, and some shower chances, and 52 again on Thursday of next week. And that'll do it for this Thursday. Thank you for being a part of the program. See you back here next time. Tomorrow, wrapping up this week of December already. Good night. See you then. Thanks for watching.